Alright, what's up, y'all? We back for another live stream. Before I get started here, y'all know the drill. I'm gonna post that on the live real quick before I get started with everything. Let me see. There we go. Alright, so before we get started, so we only took one trade this week. It was a break even. I mean, it was a small loss, but I consider it as a break even. It was like a 100 something across both accounts. Not 100 something across both accounts, but 100 something. Yeah. Let me just log into my accounts. I could finally log into my Affinitive Funding account. And if you look at the drawdown, max drawdown, basically the same. I was risking very small. I'm trying to bounce back this account. Flexify. Oh, this is my challenge. Y'all, let me hop out of this because that's my challenge. All right, let's go to the funded right here. Wait for this load. All right, you see, we went from 1.91 to 2.01. You know, very small loss, like a break even. And then the last one is with 5%ers. I just sign it right here. You go right here. As you can see, everything is practically the same. Like you can see the 17th I took a trade right here. It didn't do much. See, 6,015 cents. And 104. This was the same position. I just added an extra, and this was when I thought I wasn't gonna get any trades. I placed this 0.01 size in for the minimum days. So now that we can get started on this, we had news at around. Did we have news today? Oh shoot, I tripped out. I thought there was gonna be news at 8:30, but there's no news. But before I actually get started, one of my accounts I haven't placed a trade in almost 30 days, so I'm gonna place a small 0.01 size in. Was for a challenge account, so I'm gonna do that real quick, and then we're gonna get started with the actual trading with funded accounts. So I think it was this one. I'm gonna place a small position size in real quick, and then I'm gonna close this out. There we go. So I can keep the account active. All right. So let me see what's going on. We're gonna start off with gold. I like how gold is looking so far. Gold probably is gonna be the one I'm gonna be trading today. Let me see. Yeah, if you look at gold on the higher time frame, we're overall bullish. Why? We have multiple breaks of structure going higher. Self-explanatory. Go on to the 6 hour time frame. So in this case, I'm gonna be using a 1 hour entry for this because it looks very clean, very, very clean. If we go on the 1 hour time frame, we have the same type of movement going on. We have the flush, and the flush basically means that price basically comes under all the MAs or breaks towards the 50. So this is a what I would consider a flush on the validation time frame right here. Let me just delete all this right here. Let me actually update this right here so y'all don't get confused. Before we trade, you got to analyze the charts to even know what you're doing. And after you get the flush, I want to see 4 to 5 breaks of structure happening. So we have the first break of structure that was confirmed, and then we have the second break of structure right here that's happening. So like I said, we want to see 4 to 5 breaks of structure. After that, we want to see price come to that 10 or 20 and pause like how it's doing. So it's already in a good spot for me to look for a potential trade in this area. So what I would want to see on my entry time frame is price to flush towards that 50, push back up, pause. So basically this type of movement where we come down to the 50, we move up, we make a small pause, and that pause is basically a candle that prints before taking out the previous candle's high, and I'll set a buy stop right above to potentially continue the overall trend, and I will basically manage it accordingly. So this candle right here, so this candle isn't ready because this candle took out the previous candle's high right here. This one is forming. So after this candle closes within 16 minutes, if we can get one more candle that pauses before taking out this high, I'll set a nice buy stop because let's look at what price is doing. On top of that, you want to see price start to rise up with the MAs. See how the MAs are starting to rise up? The theory with this is if we're expecting price to go higher, right? You have to look at what price does with the MAs. When price is in a sideways moving market, right? Price moves like this in stage ones and stage twos. We move sideways, then expand, sideways, then expand, and so on. So looking at the MA starting to rise up, if we were to make a potential trend out of this, the MAs would start to expand out like this. Expand out. Once it goes to sideways like this, you can expand expansion out of this. And we are pairing that with the overall trend. So I really like gold. Gold is something I'm gonna be on definitely watching. But if it ends up moving without me, it's okay. The market is not going nowhere. So I'm gonna keep this in green. I already have that in green. I'm gonna just take a look at the other markets real quick, but definitely gold is something I want to do first, or probably like the only trade. I could tell automatically for this. This isn't close to being ready. I mean, it could set something up, but it's gold is like the closest one to set it up fastest. For this, if I was to take like a 1 hour entry and stuff like that, like basically all my analysis is basically the same. Let me delete all of these drawings right here. All my analysis is basically the same, right? As I said, a flush means it comes down to the 50 or flushes all the way under. So this is the most recent flush. We have one break, two breaks, three breaks. So 4 to 5 um on this overall time frame right here. Go down to the 6 hour. You want to see the same thing. Let's see what's going on. Most recent flush is right here. This looks like a very ugly area. You have the flush. You don't even have the first break of structure. So this wouldn't even be ready, to be honest. Good thing I looked at this time frame before going on. Let's look at Euro USD. Euro USD has been looking good recently in terms of what it's been doing with a trend. So let's see. Go on this weekly real quick. In this case right here for the weekly time frame, we had this flush move up right here. Another confirmation could be using the daily time frame. I like to use a double break in the intended direction as a confirmation. So I'm looking for bullish plays. In this, we had a double break to the upside, showing that it is can move bullish. Right here on the 6 hour, flushed, for it made the first break of structure. Second, paused around on the 10 and the 20, came back down, paused. Let me see what's going on right here. If I was looking for entries for this, basically I would want price to pop back up above the MAs, make a clean pause, so it can't break through back through the MAs. If it breaks back through, it's showing me that the orders are not being supported by the move higher. But if it pauses nicely against the MAs, rejecting against the MAs, I could set a buy stop. But like I said, gold is going to be the one I'm paying attention to. I'm just doing other analysis real quick. I can keep that like this. GBP CAD, I know the rest wasn't really looking too good. Yeah, the rest aren't looking too good. Ooh, for a lower time frame specifically. This is clean here for a different time frame entry. I could tell. So we had the flush, we had the break of structure on this time frame. Yeah, I already know it's not gonna be looking good for this time frame. Uh, if I was to guess, if you were a person that's like a 6 hour trader or something like that, I feel like it would look clean there. Yeah, if you look at this, everything is fractal, and this is why I'm able to switch between time frames easily to take trades and stuff like that. It's because price is fractal. Look, on a 6 hour time frame, right? If you were a trader on a 6 hour, basically it's the same thing. Wait for the pop above because the price moved down to the 50. Wait for that clean pause, set the buy stop or potential trend, and manage it accordingly. Trade management is very important because you can be wrong about a trade and still make money, and vice versa. So let me take a look at silver. What is silver doing? The 6 hour. Let's get rid of all these drawings. Clean chart. Let's see. Let's start with the weekly time frame. Okay, we had a flush. Um, didn't even clear the high for you. I like gold the best. So I'm gonna look back at gold real quick. Like, y'all see how gold is moving? Okay, let me get back on the entry time frame real quick. Okay. So we have some time like to kill. Like we have some time. There's no point to really be staring at the charts and stuff like that. Because like I said, this is a 1 hour time frame. It's gonna take a minute. Each of these candles are gonna be an hour. So this is the high that I just don't want to see get ran first. So yeah, I would basically do something like that. My stop loss would be somewhere where wherever the candle pauses. So let's say if the candle pauses like something like this, like that, wherever that candle pauses, that's where I'll like put my stop loss. Depending, I may put it a little bit below and stuff like that. But ideally, that's where I want to put it. Ooh. And I want to see, am I going to be trading some challenges with these accounts as well? Yeah, so we got 3 accounts for trading right now on a trade copier. So I got a trade copier open. Me make sure it's connected. Is it connected? Do I gotta log in? Let me see. Okay, everything is connected, so we good. We good. We good. We good. We good. All right. I wonder if I could like talk about like anything helpful while we waiting. Cause I do be bored just streaming and not doing anything. Let me see. Um, I don't really have anything. Actually, let's go over like my trade that I missed yesterday. I was looking for a trade right here on the 5 minute. Let's actually look what happened. Because it's not that I missed it. I came off the charts 2 minutes earlier, so I didn't take the trade. If y'all watched the live stream yesterday, so I think it was on a 5 minute. I used the 5 minute. Okay, 30 minute. It was right. Yeah, it was right here. Everything look. If you look at my analysis, it looks similar over here. But basically, we had a move down to the 10 and 20 right here. And then I was like, okay, let me see what the 5 minute talking about, because the 5 minute pairs with the 30 minute as like a validation time frame, something you want to confirm before jumping on your actual entry time frame. There's also one other time frame as well, but I just skipped it to be faster. So we'll look at the 5 minute right here. You can basically see it wasn't too clean. I didn't like the volume at the time. That's what, and it was about to be 12 o'clock, and I saw that price was losing volume. That's why I didn't take it. I would have got tagged in at this wick right here. And I have a rule where, in order for me to cut a loss, I would cut at the break of the 20. You can see, like, if I did take this trade, it wouldn't have broken that on 20 rule. Would have went up, would have on pullback, would have went up, break even, but it would have got stopped out at break even. What you got to understand, those type of things are a part of the game. But yeah, your break evens are a part of the game. Let's see what else. Wonder what I could talk about. Let's see. Let's see. The one thing I have difficult, like the most hardest part for me with trading like these accounts is I talk about it in other streams, but it's just like the different prices. Like I feel like it's more like with when you have different prices on different charts for the different accounts, it makes it harder because me personally, I like taking all the trades at the same time. Like I don't care if I end up being a drawdown on all of the accounts. I like trading them at the same time. Because either way, like that's real trading. If you have an account, a live account of $100,000, $200,000, you're gonna be trading that account. And that's what I want to practice for. The problem is with these different pricing, I have to like enter them manually because if I use a trade copier, if one pricing is shown right here and the one pricing is shown right here, it's gonna put me all the way up here on one account and it's gonna be all weird. So that's one issue. So I've been contemplating, should I only trade markets that have the same pricing, but at the same time I'm gonna be limiting myself to how much money I could potentially make. Because the thing with me, I know my strategy. There's only specific times I could trade, and that's why I typically look at every single market, right? And I don't have a problem with looking at every single market because market condition changes, and I know when a market condition looks great with my strategy. Like for example, Euro USD, Euro USD right here. Um, uh, yeah, Euro USD. Let me go on the point in time like I was really looking at Euro USD. I was really looking at Euro USD around, I think around this right here, right? This time. But for a whole year, I haven't traded it before because if you look at the condition at Euro USD before, this is the type of trends it was making. So it was, I think it was in the overall like making bearish moves. Yeah, it was making bearish moves overall. But this is what it'll do. It will make a breaker structure. It will flush it right back to the 50. Make a breaker structure, flush right back to the 50. The problem with that with my strategy is if I try to enter a trade at the 10 and 20, it's most likely gonna stop me out and come back to the 50 because the pullbacks are way too deep. I can identify market conditions are not optimal with my trade on my strategy. But if you look at the recent price action right here, instead of flushing right back to the 50 after each break, look what it does. So we made this flush, we make a breaker structure, we pause at a 10 and 20, continue. Pause at a 10 and 20, continue. At that point, it's a clean looking trend. So what can I expect? If it pauses at the 10 and 20, it's probably going to continue. That's what I would assume. It's not likely to, it's not that I'm expecting it to really happen, but I can assume. Trading is really about like just probabilities, looking at the best possible probabilities to enter the trade. This like the pauses were on the 10 and 20 is specifically right if you're entering on the 15-minute time frame for this time frame right here. I want to clarify that, but I've been talking for a minute. I'm gonna just see if I have to do anything this morning right now. Oh no, no, I don't gotta do anything for real, for real. So I'm gonna be just chilling real quick because it's a long wait. And back. Let me see what's going on. It's 15 minutes for this candle to close. Okay. Okay, let me see what's going on. So if price closes like this, I'm not going to be interested in this area. Reason why is we're closing under the 10 and 20, which in my book makes it invalid because at that point the orders are not being supported higher. It's just moving sideways still, right? Similarly to right here, because when we're starting to move sideways, right? Even though we can have an entry opportunity, it can potentially still chop around, which is not something I want to see. So, like, basically like this. Even though there's an entry right here with a buy stop, with this impulse, this small pause, and for an entry, right, it's moving sideways, which indicates price still potentially wants to go sideways, which it ends up doing it, right? Now, even though it ended up working out, these plays can still work out. Don't get me wrong. I used to trade like that where I wait for it to go sideways and I'll enter like that for the expectation. But I found that waiting for it to start to rise up a bit, similarly to right here, at this point in time, you would have noticed the MAs are starting to rise up, starting to rise up. That's what I'm basically all waiting for. So, like anything can happen in this candle, you know, anything can really happen. But if we, I'm guessing, let me see what the stop loss are, because um, at, I'm guessing if like price was to reject all the way up in the last few seconds, it will start to rise up a bit. But let me see what the stop loss. Hmm, hmm, doesn't really look too good. I would just have to see. Let me see what the other market's talking about. Nothing. Other markets ain't on nothing. Yeah. GAP, JP, in. Slowly push. Yeah. Ain't nothing to do. So if price ends up closing like this, because like I said, it could reject and end up closing right here, because I never judge it based on how it's look. Anything is possible. But if it does end up closing right here, I'm gonna end up popping off the charts. And the reason why is because we gotta keep in mind this right here is a 1 hour time frame, right? So if we were to assume a move that would happen, it would have happened probably after 12 o'clock, and plus we have some news, red news happening at 2 o'clock, 2 o'clock and 2:30, right? So since each candle is an hour, let's say this one closes like this at 10. Let's assume a move wanted to happen, which would close at 11. Pause would close at 12. And then if we was taking an entry, it would be at 1 o'clock, which would make sense when news is about to come out. It's not gonna make a large enough move for us to be at break even. In fact, we could still be in drawdown if we actually decided to do that. And that's just assuming the move wanted to happen at that moment in time. So yeah, nothing to do if it does that. Just staying patient. Like in hindsight, the only thing I could say that looked good for a 1 hour entry was right here. Like right here when price got this high. Let's look at it. Price. We got move. Clean pause against the MAs, supporting the orders and stuff like that. And if y'all don't believe me about like how the MAs look, because anybody could say, "Oh, that's hindsight. The MAs were already looking like that." Let me one bar replay mode so I can show y'all. Right here. Let me show y'all. See how it's starting to rise up, right? You see how it's starting to rise up. When a candle closes like that, it's starting to rise up more. And then you can expect the move to extend out from that area. It's moving higher and higher and so on and so on. So that's what I mean. You got to see what price does when it wants to extend. The MA start to extend out. It goes from a sideways movement to expansion. Sideways movement to expansion. Sideways movement. If it closes like that, it may even just chop around for a bit more until it wants to push out of the range a little bit. It may start to expand. Y'all get the point. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna still get everything prepared just in case it wants to reject all the way up here. It looks like it's rising. So let me see what the spread's looking like. Checking it on my MT5. Okay. This might be above. Exactly that. Alright, so in this case, I'm not placing anything because of how it closed right here. You see that? It's still sideways. So now I'm gonna end the stream because of what I explained. Not like